Bitknuckles. Hello. So, today we're going to be going over the blockchain. With the current events with COVID-19 and the coronavirus, I feel like I'm going to do a little, kind of a Bitcoin 101 or how to get started in cryptocurrency, that kind of thing. And you got to start with the blockchain because that is the basis for understanding pretty much everything. Now, a blockchain is not essentially Bitcoin. Bitcoin and blockchain are not synonymous. They are very different things. The Bitcoin protocol is built on a blockchain, and that's really the first time the blockchain was ever introduced into the world and was is now looked upon as hopefully the way of doing things down the future. It just takes out a lot of middlemen, a lot of the problems that we have today with centralized power. So we're going to use the banks here to describe Bitcoin's blockchain scenario, but you can apply the blockchain to many different things, such as tracing shoes or cars or something like that, and being able to see everywhere they go down the line every time they were in service, and it just takes out a whole layer of fraud. So here is the bank scenario. So you got your bank, right? And so all the people who are using banks, especially in America, are just putting money in and out, in and out, in and out, working all within the bank. But the bank is a centralized entity. It has control over the final decisions. It has a lot more say in how things go out. That's why you can't, sometimes with a card, you can only take out $500 a day or $1,000 a day of your own money because of its own decisions that you didn't get to make there. So people just, that's it. You got your centralized power. They have the ledger. They have every in and out you've ever done financially, at least with them. And that's how you have to do things in America, is through the bank in most cases. So along comes the blockchain, and that's a little bit easier to understand in this scenario. So we'll just stick with the Bitcoin protocol and the blockchain within Bitcoin. So you decide you want to buy some Bitcoin, and essentially how you have to do that is to download the ledger or have the ledger in your possession. The ledger is the decentralized ledger, so it's a ledger that's on everybody else's computer and updating constantly, as well as even more computers, and it just keeps spanning out like a virus, essentially. And it just keeps going and going and going. And to think about it as in the one ledger built upon all the different blocks as the blockchain closes, that's a whole nother thing that you don't even need to understand fully. If you want to, you can look into it, but it's a mathematical algorithm that multiple miners are trying to solve at the same time using all kinds of power. When they solve it, it closes a block, and then the next block begins, and it's essentially doing all of the transactions. The miners get a reward for whoever closes the block, as well as the transaction fees for that block. Because Bitcoin, especially the Bitcoin protocol, is completely decentralized. There is no one pulling the strings. It is an unmanned train going forward. So this is just how it works. It all comes together, and if anybody even tried to break down the blockchain, try to hack the blockchain. Now, mind you, quantum computing is real, and it's coming, and that can be scary. It's not here yet, and it's not being applied to destroying the blockchain, so we deal with what we have right now, and this is the best option. Imagine trying to, trying to hack the first block of the blockchain. By the time it gets anywhere, it's going to be updated with a new block, and you'd have to start over. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, there it is. Just, it's too much. The blockchain is immutable. It just cannot be broken in that regard. So, highly recommend it. And we're going to get to buying Bitcoin in next video. Not even only Bitcoin, but, we're going to start small because I'm imagining sending this to my father and my, non-tech friend and trying to teach them how all this stuff works. So I wanted to go do a nice baseline of how the blockchain works. And hopefully this answers some questions. I appreciate your listens, watches, whatever you're doing. Subscribe, like, do those things if you want to. If not, it doesn't matter. Because either way, you're going to have a good day. And I hope so. Anyway, whatever. Bye.
Bitknuckles.